can discuss all of this with Rami, a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. He's speaking to us from Boston in the US. Rami, always good to get your take. So how significant is the killing of the senior Hamas leader if Israel has indeed killed him? Because, of course, it wouldn't be the first time since this war started that Israel has targeted senior members of the group.
That's right, Yashni. This is a killing that repeats many others that the Israelis have carried out against Hamas, against Hezbollah, against any of the resistance militant movements around the region who challenge Israel or confront it. And it doesn't seem to have much impact, this kind of assassination, even at the very highest level, when they kill the top leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas. It doesn't seem to have a huge impact in terms of either pushing the group to tone down or turn in its arms or surrender or stop challenging Israel or adjusting its strategies in any significant way. So it's hard to tell really what impact this will have, other than it'll stimulate more people in Hamas to continue the fight and to avenge the death of Saad and to try to continue what the group has been doing for 30, 40 years, which is to resist Israel's occupation and subjugation and mass murder and now genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza. It's peculiar that the Israelis, who are so technically qualified militarily in so many other ways, are so naive and blind in not seeing that assassinating leaders of these militant movements doesn't bring about the result that they want.
It doesn't bring about the result that they want, but it is something that they can almost brag about, if I can put it that way, to Israelis to show that they are doing something, because a ceasefire is meant to be in place, but you almost want to use that word lightly, because every day we hear about violations, almost every day we hear about people being killed in Gaza and Palestinians continuing to die because they still don't have access to basic supplies like shelter, especially as this weather continues to just get worse.
That's right. You know, there was an agreement to implement the ceasefire, but it was never fully implemented by the Israelis. Hamas has pretty much kept its word, and the Americans and Israelis even admit that. But the Israelis have not kept their word, and they do not apply the ceasefire agreement, and therefore there is no ceasefire. And this is something that the Israelis try to use for their domestic publicity, to brag to people abroad that their capabilities are significant. They can kill anybody they want, anywhere, at any time. But this kind of killing doesn't really achieve anything. And in the meanwhile, what's going to happen, because of the bad weather and the terrible cold conditions, the Israelis have now contributed one more method of mass murder against the Palestinians, which is to freeze babies to death. We've had several babies who have frozen to death, besides others in the past 2 years who have been burned to death or starved to death or have been blown up into smithereens by Israeli-American bombs. So it's a very unusual situation where such a powerful military force as Israel, with the backing and collusion of the United States, continues to carry out policies that don't seem to achieve any political ends. And this is the dilemma that Israel and the U.S. have, which is they have significant military capabilities and many successes here and there, but they don't achieve their fundamental political goals, diplomatic goals, and they don't get anywhere nearer to achieving what they say is their overall policy, which is to be able to live in peace in the Middle East as an Israeli state. And this kind of policy isn't going to help them get there any closer, even though the Arabs, including Hamas and the Palestinians, have all offered to coexist with a Jewish majority Israeli state. But the Israelis have never responded to that request.
We're going to have to leave it there, but always good to speak to you, Rami Khouri from the American University of Beirut. Thank you.
Thank you.